Hello everybody, I'm Heidi. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you my empties from this past holiday season into January, and I think it goes all the way into Valentine's Day melting, and then I've got a new current bag of empties that I'm not hanging on to that I'm going to share in a future video. But today we just need to get through these so we can move on and I can throw away my trash finally. So we're just going to go ahead and start grabbing off the top. These are going to be not quite bars yet, but just little odds and ends. Scent of the month, pink coconut that came in a whiff box. Yeah, this one it's pretty. I like it, but it really reminds me of Joy and Wonder. So I don't know if anybody else is getting that. Might be the raspberry note in it with a coconut, so it's kind of got that earthiness too. And I don't remember all the notes in Joy and Wonder, but I love Joy and Wonder, so I was fine with pink coconut. I just think I prefer Joy and Wonder, so I'll happily melt my pink coconut. I think I have a bar of it, and I will definitely continue to melt that and just kind of see how I feel about it as the season goes on. But that was a pretty one, just not really what I was expecting, I guess, with the name pink coconut. All right, cinnamon pine cones. Oh wait, I've got mismatched. Hold on a second. See, these fell off. Here we go. Sweet orange and evergreen. I loved this one. I can hardly smell it anymore in that little tester cup, but that was just really, really good. It was really a no frills kind of evergreen Christmassy scent, real nostalgic smelling, and I put that in my club. That was really awesome. I hope that comes back. Here we go with cinnamon pine cones. That's correct. From the front to the back. Loved, loved, loved this one. Also went in my club. This reminds me a lot of, I'm drawing a blank. Blue Christmas. It reminds me a lot of Blue Christmas, but like the opposite of Blue Christmas. So where that one's more tree with spice, this one's more spice with tree. So it's almost like they're the same, but just one's heavier on the notes in one than the other. So yeah, that's what I get when I smell that one. And then the last little thing in my bag here is snowberry. This is a tester top from one of those old big testers. I was so sad about snowberry not coming back because this was like an old school scent that had been around for a really long time, and I just really loved it. It was like kind of a different take on a Christmassy, wintry kind of scent. There wasn't really any spice in it. It's like loganberry and strawberry, and it's a white wax, and I can't remember all the other notes in it, but it had like a berry, it had like a berryness to it, but a wintry berry, but it wasn't heavy. It wasn't a heavy berry. It was like light, and I loved it. So unfortunately that did not make it into my club because I wasn't in the club when that one was retired. But I did go on the Scentsy Black Market and buy a bunch of these. Excuse me, I bought a bunch of these big fat testers, and the tester cup itself is not here because it melted in my warmer. I'm still going to go ahead and do the rest of them. I think I have 2 left, but I had, put it in the warmer so that it could get warmed up, and then I could like scoop it out and put the wax in the warmer. And I came over to the warmer to do that, and the bottom of the tester cup was like melting into my warmer. I was like, oh my gosh. So I pulled it out. It didn't do anything to my warmer. My warmer's fine, but I was like, my goodness, I don't know. So snowberry. All right, I have some scent circles here. Breakfast in Bed. This one was a really good performer in the scent circle. And I don't usually have great luck with scent circles. They're sort of hit or miss, and I usually think they're more misses than hits, but this, I can still smell Breakfast in Bed on this. It's crazy strong. That was a good, strong scent circle. And then Eskimo Kiss, which was like not strong. I really couldn't hardly smell this in the scent circle. I can smell it now sniffing it, but like when it was in the car, I couldn't really smell it that much. So I would say that was sort of, for me, a poor performer in a scent circle. Okay, let's get out some more that are not bars. Got some scent packs here. Saddle Up. Well, wait a second. No. What's going on here? Oh, Snow Kiss Cranberry. Yeah. It's so funny when I watch other people's videos, there's always like different scent packs or different pods in different containers, and I never understood never understood that. But now that I'm reaching back for the ones I've been saving. I'm like, yeah, that does happen. And I don't know exactly. It's just like you switch them out and you pop one in a different one. And then you're like all discombobulated. But anyway, Snow-Kissed Cranberry. Yeah, this was a nice one. Perfumey cranberry. I'm going to put it back in the correct one, even though it's just going in my trash. I'm just going to be weird like that. And so, did I even show you the container? I didn't. Sorry, I'm a little... Okay. I just am looking at this bag and I'm like, oh my gosh, Heidi, you've got so much to go through. So I'm trying not to make this video a full-length movie. So anyway, Saddle Up. I don't know where these are. Maybe I talked about them in another bag. I'm not really sure, but I love Saddle Up. I can't smell that in the container anymore, but that's like suede and leather, vanilla kind of scents. It's really, really good. And anyway, yeah, I loved Saddle Up. It was good in the car. And then Vanilla Mint. So there's only one pod out of this because I currently have the other pod in my wall fan diffuser at my dance studio. So I love that. It's still going strong in the bathroom there too. Like when you walk in, it's just like vanilla and mint and citrus, and it's just kind of fresh. And I do need to switch it out because it's really not that time of year anymore. So it kind of doesn't feel right for the season, but it's just still kicking. So I'm just going to leave it in there for a little bit longer. Okay. And then last non-bar is this Cranberry Tinsel Washer Whiffs, which I really liked this. This also reminds me of Cinnamon Pine Cones. Whoop. It does, yeah. It just reminds me of, let me see if there's any scent left in this. Yeah, they smell a lot like each other. So if you missed Cranberry and Tinsel and you ended up getting Cinnamon Pine Cones, maybe try, you know, if you have anything left from Cranberry Tinsel, maybe compare them side by side and see if you're getting the same thing I am getting, because they smell awfully similar to my nose. But I really enjoyed this. It was super light in the laundry. I mean, it's not like a beast of a performer or anything where your clothes are going to smell like Cranberry and Tinsel, but it was nice. And I'll use up what I have, and then, yeah, I don't know that I would repurchase it just because it wasn't super strong, and I like my laundry to smell. If I'm adding scent to my laundry, I want my clothes to smell like what I added. Otherwise, it's just kind of a waste of money. I don't know. If you're adding a scent and you can't smell it, then what's the point? So anyway, let's get into the bars. This is going to be Christmas time. Very Merry Cranberry. One of my absolute favorites. At Christmas time, it's just cranberries. That's all I really get is just like cranberries. And it's one of my favorite things to eat at Thanksgiving and Christmas time. So Very Merry Cranberry. I put that in a club, not the one I shared, not the one I recently shared, but a different club. Blue Christmas. Did a lot of this over the holiday season. Yes, so nice. Green, evergreen, coniferous kind of trees, and a little bit of spice, but not a ton. Winter's Eve. This came out with the Brick collection. This was nice. I really did like it. But I wanted more tree in it. It just really leans cologne-y to my nose, and cologne-y scents are probably my least favorite to warm in my home. I can handle them in my boys' rooms, bathroom once in a while, but they're just not one that I would reach for often. So I know someday my boys, as they get older, I will be smelling probably a lot of cologne and, you know, body sprays and things like that. And so I'm not adverse to it. It's just that it's not my favorite, so I don't reach for it very often. I almost clubbed this, or I may have clubbed it and then taken it out just because of that reason alone. I just don't think I'm going to warm through it a lot. But it was a very nice scent. So we may see that next year in the catalog. Christmas Cottage. This is just your classic Christmas orange. I think there's orange and raspberry and spice. Yeah, it's nice, but it's real spice heavy. This one's definitely like cinnamony on top of the orange and the raspberry. So, but it's nice when you're warming it. It's just smells like Christmas time. And I did not club that one, but I think I have a bar left just in case it doesn't come back and I can melt it one last time. So just for you, I think this one is like pine trees, and I say pine trees, but I know there's so many different types of evergreen trees, but it's like that Christmas tree with maybe a berry or cherry note or something like that in it. It's nice. It reminds me a lot of the Slytherin bar from Harry Potter. And I really like the Slytherin bar. So yeah, I'm happy to have something similar to that because I don't have that in my club or anything. I think I have like a few left. Farmhouse Fur. I think this might have been one I did a swap with Liz from Elizabeth Scenes and Scents with, I think. I really did like it. Yeah, that's a nice one. I can't even pinpoint what's all in here, but it's like sweet and tree and maybe some citrus, and it's lovely. I would definitely get that again if it was ever available. It was one of the older clams, but it still performed awesome. And it was just all Christmas tree cinnamon pine cones. Scent of the month for, this one must have been December, I'm thinking. Yep, love it. So good. It definitely smells like those pine cones in the netted bags in the grocery stores when you walk in at Christmas time. That's totally what it smells like to me. And it's very nostalgic smelling, and it was an awesome bar. It was so good. I hope we see that back. Disney Season of Magic. My bar is busted a little bit, but this one is just so fun. It's like a kid's room Christmas tree scent, or like a playroom Christmas tree scent. It's got sweetness to it that not a lot of Christmas tree scents have added, and they might have sweetness added to them, but not this much. This is like real sugary, and I think that's why I like it, primarily for kids' rooms. But Buckleberry, I guess I did this one in the winter. Not surprising. I really think you could do this any time of year. This was from 2 rounds of Bring Back My Bar ago, and yeah, just real deep, heavy berries, maybe a little bit of spice, no bakery that I can detect, and it's a super good performer. And yeah, just fills up my kitchen with just this yummy, deep, saturated berry scent. I love it. Oh, another Winter's Eve. I guess I don't know. That's interesting that I went through 2 of these. Maybe I was trying to figure out if I wanted to keep it in my club, so I ordered a second bar. I did enjoy it, but you can't keep everything in your club because, well, you technically could, I guess, if you wanted to see what would happen, but I wouldn't do that because it just would be out of control, and I would never order from the catalog, and I would never, use any of the bars that I was getting in flash sales or clearance or collection. So yeah, I need to edit my club before it processes again this summer. But I noticed when I was going through my club haul, I was like, oh, there's so many in here that I'm on the fence about. And I really think going into the next club, what you would call it, into the next round that's coming up for me in the summer, I'm just going to kind of have to really think long and hard about whether or not I want to keep certain bars in there. If I'm on the fence, I probably should just cut them and just keep the ones that I have and just enjoy them. And then the ones that I'm like, no, you really would be so sad if you didn't have that anymore, keep those and those only. So we'll see how that goes. But cranberry orange cider, yes, this was a great one in the kitchen in the holiday season. It's just cranberry orange and cider. It's super bright and tart and lovely. Loved that one. Snow-kissed cranberry. Yep. Just a perfumey cranberry. I do this one in bedrooms and bathrooms mainly. I think I did it in the living room too here, but yeah, that was a really pretty perfumey cranberry. Feelin' Pine. I don't know if I like this one or not. No, I don't really like this one. I don't know what it is about it, but I'm not crazy about Feelin' Pine. Olaf Warm Hugs, plural. I really did like this one. This one is like a peppermint. It reminds me a lot of some of the other mints that Scentsy has, like, well, there's one coming up here, Fresh Ice, that I love Fresh Ice. And this one kind of did remind me of Fresh Ice. Also kind of reminded me of the, what's that new one that came out? Frosted Vanilla in the 10 new releases this last fall and winter. But there was like an extra sweet vanilla to this one that almost made me feel like I could warm it in my kitchen more so than other parts of the house. And I'm always looking for scents like that I can warm in my kitchen that aren't bakery specific, but are foodie or edible smelling to me. And I love vanilla. I mean, it's perfect in anything really. So Olaf Warm Hugs, I put it in the other club, I believe. So I'll have another one coming, but I'll be hanging on to it for next winter time, next Christmas and holiday into January type season. Icicles and Evergreen was one of also the brick releases, but it's not new. It's been around and it's not my favorite. There's something in it that's sharp, and I don't know. It's not bad. I warmed it. It was fine, but there's so many tree scents that I just love. And I really do love tree scents. So that one would be like on the bottom of my list of tree scents for some reason. And I can't figure out what it is I don't like about it. Maybe I think there's apple in there. It could be the apple. I don't hate apple scents. There's so many apple scents or scents that have apple in them that I do like, but I think I just overdid apple back in like the 90s. You know, we had country apple at Bath and Body Works and everybody sprayed themselves with the country apple. And then Yankee had that Macintosh candle and everybody pretty much melted, you know, not melted. I guess they burned that candle in their homes. And I know I did. So I think I just burned myself out on apple scents. So when it's just sometimes an apple scent in a bar, just kind of, it might be like the thing that kind of tips the scales for me to like, I don't know. Maybe if they'd put something else in it besides apple. But Cozy Fireside, this was so old. You can tell by the packaging, you guys. I don't know. There's no date on here, and there's no way I could ever see. There's no way I could ever see if there was a date, but it's like orange and discolored, but it did not affect the performance in the least bit. This thing is amazing. I'm so happy they brought this back. Cozy Fireside. It's an ancient bar. I don't know why. I probably just hung on to it forever because I missed it and I didn't want to have to not have a bar in my collection to be able to melt when I wanted to. So I'll do that if a scent is not available for a while, and that one wasn't. So Just Breathe. I'm so glad this is in the current catalog, but I really think you could melt it any time of year because it's just sort of a nice medicinal, herbally kind of scent. It's real nose clearing. So yeah, that's what I need right now. I don't know, it's got mint, maybe citrus, eucalyptus. I know there's other things in this that I'm not remembering, but yeah, this was a really nice scent in the bathroom. But I think I might have melted some of it when I had a kiddo homesick from school and they were laying in here in the living room, and I think I put some cubes in my warmer that day. And yeah, I'm so happy that's back in the catalog. Give it a try if you like a medicinal, almost like essential oily kind of scent. It's really pretty. Cranberry Garland. Oh, I miss this one so much. Oh, Scentsy, please bring this back. Yeah, I love almost all cranberry scents, but this one's probably my favorite. It's got cranberry and I think sage in it is what it puts it over the top for me, where I'm like, yes, sage, because the sage kind of reminds me of Thanksgiving time. And it doesn't smell like stuffing or anything, but it's just that kind of just triggers something in my mind that makes me think Thanksgiving with that sage in it. So here's another Cozy Fireside. You guys, I love Cozy Fireside. This was another older bar, but not as old as the other one. The other one was ancient, and this one was also old, but not as old. All right, Sweet Orange and Evergreen, the scent of the month for, was it November? Yeah. Yes, so pretty. Love that evergreen scent. That was so good. I should say the Sweet Orange and Evergreen and the Cinnamon Pine Cones, wherever that one is, that I can't find the actual bar right now, but they were good. Like, you could smell them, but I don't remember them lasting a super long time. Or either one of them didn't or they both didn't. But I do remember that not both of them were long lasting. So it's kind of a bummer, but I'm hoping that maybe with time, because they were both brand new bars, so maybe after they've sat for a little while, I'm gonna get them both in my club, and maybe by next holiday season, if we don't see them back in the catalog, then I've got some hopefully stronger bars to melt. And if they do bring it back, we'll just see what happens with new pours of those. But they were so good, I just didn't care that they didn't last long. I just kept loading up the warmers because I enjoyed it that much. Winterberry Apple Tea. This is it is a kitchen melt for me. I don't think I've ever melted anywhere else, but yeah, it just makes my kitchen smell like berry, spice, apple, honey tea. I love it. Oh, well, yeah, okay. Quiver. Kind of matches my turtleneck. I think this is when I found out Quiver was coming back in the Bring Back My Bar, so I got out my last old hoarded bar and I was like, you go to town, girl. Melt it because it's coming back. I love this smell. I love it. It's so pretty. It's just so pretty. Yeah. That will stay in my club for probably ever. Whenever there's a bar that I love that is really controversial or you know, polarizing, like you either loved it or you hated it kind of thing, I really would like, I will hesitate greatly to take that out of my club. I don't think that I will touch it. It's just going to stay there because you just never know if something's going to ever come back. And I could see like that one and Very Berry Pumpkin that maybe never coming back. So Gridiron Rush. I liked this one. I really have not heard many people talking about Gridiron Rush, and I like it. I don't know what's all in it scent note wise. I feel like I read it once or twice and was like, oh, it's got like maybe green grass and like some citrus, and yeah, it's definitely like masculine leaning, but it's like fresh and citrusy and almost got some minty in it, but also like greenery in it. Anyway, I melted it in my boys' room. I loved it. I stuck it in a club, and I don't think I'm gonna take it out for now because I really did enjoy it in there. Fresh Ice. Oh, this one's one of my all-time favorite scents to melt in the winter. Yes, it's like mint and sandalwood. That's primarily all I get, and it's just really, really pretty. It's yeah, just a really, really pretty scent. To me, the scent doesn't smell anything like what you would think by looking at the packaging. Fresh Ice, I guess it does kind of smell like fresh ice, but I mean, I get just like mint and sandalwood, and I think it's just lovely. So here's another bar of Fresh Ice. Alrighty. Red Berry and Spruce. I don't remember much about this one, but I had some, and I pulled out all my wintry scents. Yeah, maybe I got a stack of these in a clearance or flash sale, but it's yummy. Yeah, it's like a bright berry with some spruce tree and nice. It's a nice balance of those two. Be Merry. This is another nostalgic Christmas scent for me. This one has the cranberry with some kind of greenery, Christmas greenery. I don't know if it's pine boughs or do you say pine boughs? Is it boughs or bows? I don't really know. Oh, I love this one. I had to stick it in my club. I don't know that I couldn't pick between Very Merry Cranberry and Be Merry. I was like, they both have their place. Be Merry's one that I would warm in here in the living room and like other parts of the house because it has the pine in it. And then the Very Merry Cranberry is just like so cranberry-ish that I would just put that one in the kitchen. So they kind of each had their place in my home. So I was like, we're just going to keep both because, yeah, I love them equally. I could not pick a favorite. Frosted Vanilla. This was from the 10 new releases, and it's lovely. Yeah, this is so pretty. Vanilla, and what else is in here? Mint, vanilla. There's some kind of a tree note too, but I can't discern what it is right now. But I melted it and loved it, and I did not put it in my club because I'm confident it'll come back. I mean, I'm pretty like almost 100% positive that will come back. I can't see why it wouldn't. I think it was really popular and well liked. Another Marvel 9 Realms. So I do this one. I guess I do melt this one. I couldn't remember. I was like, do I melt that year round or only in the spring and summer? But it's in my bag here with all my Christmas and winter bars. So yeah, I melt Marvel 9 Realms all the time. It's got lime zest and tea, and I don't remember all the notes, but it's really fresh and yummy and not too masculine or anything, but it's clean and kind of smells just nice in my boys' rooms. Wassail Wonderland. Oh, I go back and forth between this one. My nose does this thing where it'll love a scent and then I will smell it again and not like it. And then the next year I'll smell it again and I do like it. So it's not like the cleaning product situation where I loved a scent, then used it in cleaning products, and then I was turned off by it. It's like, I loved it when it first came out. Then I tried it again the next year and I was like, oh, I don't know. And then I loved it again. And it's just like almost an every other year thing. So I don't know if it's just because it's so strong, because Wassail Wonderland she's a powerhouse. It's so strong. And right now smelling it, I'm liking it fine. So this past winter, I just wasn't feeling it. I was like, I got to get through these. They don't nauseate me or anything, but they're just so strong. How do I get through it? And I think I saw a suggestion on a channel to mix this with the Tinselberry. And I had some Tinselberry hanging around in my kitchen melting basket. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm not crazy about Tinselberry on its own, but that could be fun as a mixer. So I mixed them together and it was so fun. It was such a fun, bright, fruity, but Christmassy kitchen scent. So yeah, Wassail Wonderland. I have a stack of those from clearance, and I hope that this next Christmas I like it and I don't have to hang on to them for 2 more years. Clove and cinnamon in my club. Love it. Just clove and cinnamon, but more heavy on the clove, and a good mixer too. Strong performer, beautiful in the kitchen during like the time of year where you really want spice and warmth. Bayberry and currant. I really liked this one too. It's so nice. I love this in the bathroom. It's hard for me to always find good bathroom melts in the winter because so many of them are so floral and perfumey, and they're nice, but sometimes I just want a clean bathroom scent that's like winter specific, and this is it. So I think I have a stack of them from clearance, and I can't remember. Besides bayberry and currant, I can't really remember what's all in here, but I definitely get like a bayberry note, I get a currant note, and then just something really clean and fresh. It's strong and long lasting. That one went for days. So yeah, bayberry and currant. Fluffy Fleece. This is the bar that I finally finished after probably a couple years of going back and forth with it. But yeah, Sea and the Clam. I love it. I love it. And I hated it before. I mean, it was repulsive to me. I was like, ooh, it smells like a grandma's house or something. I don't know what was going on with my nose, but then I used it in laundry and I was like, it's beautiful. She's beautiful. Our noses are so weird. Our brains are so weird, the way we think about things and how things change. And I know that our senses change over time, which I also think is so fascinating. Okay, getting off on a rabbit trail. A broken clam of spiced pear. I think this came in a bundle of some kind, or clearance or a flash sale just recently. It was so light. Pretty. I mean, I can kind of smell it in the clam right now, but it was so light. I might have another bar, but I might have picked up 2 or 3 bars in the flash sale because they were so cheap. But I might just have to mix that one with something stronger and use it up that way, because I could barely smell it. And that doesn't happen to me very often. Most scents in my home do well. So if you hear me saying, oh, this was so great, or this was so strong, you're like, I couldn't smell it at all. I feel like I have a good home for melting wax and for scents, because it's a 1-story ranch, no basement. It's pretty closed off. There's no real open concept anywhere. And this living room that I'm in now is the only room with a high ceiling. It's like a pitched, and the rest of the home just has regular standard size height ceilings. So scents do really, really well in my home. Even lighter scents that other people say they can't smell tend to do well for me. So take that into consideration. If I ever say something's really strong and you're like, it could just be our homes are so different. So anyway, off on another rabbit trail there. But Swirling Snowflakes was from our winter collection, and I liked it. It was fine. I didn't repurchase it. It was good. It smelled nice while I was melting it, but it wasn't like, it didn't wow me, I guess. So, and I don't remember everything that's in it. But Polar Bear Hug, previously Eskimo Kiss, love it. In my club, berries, brown sugar. What else is in this? Lots of foodie things, but you don't smell food. It smells more like perfumey. It's so nice. I wish I could remember all the notes right now, but yeah, it's like blackberry jam, caramelized something, brown sugar. I don't know. It's lovely. It's honestly not as strong of a performer though as I remembered it being like years ago, back when it was Eskimo Kiss, when they first came out with it. I feel like it was way stronger. And in the last couple of years, few years that I've been melting Polar Bear Hugs, I haven't noticed that it's as strong. So either my nose has changed or they reformulated it and are taking it down a notch. So Joy and Wonder, this was from like 2 Christmases ago. I think the holiday collection 2 ago. And I don't think I picked up the collection. I might have been taking a no-buy break or something that holiday season, but I saw this in clearance or something, and I fell in love with it. So I think I went back and got more because it's so good. It's beautiful in the living room. I think you could do it anywhere. Maybe for me, not the kitchen, maybe, but anywhere else, bathrooms, bedrooms. Super strong. From what I remember, this went for days and days and days. It was like a never-ending scent, which I love when scents go for that. I love it when scents go that long. It's like a treat because you're like, oh, I'm getting so much value here with this scent going for so long. And then, yeah, so I have a stack of those, and I can't remember what the notes are. I think there's raspberry in that. Maybe some incensey notes. I don't know. Scensy's raspberry is like the most, I would have never suspected that I would have loved their raspberry as much as I do. But every time I love a bar and I'm trying to look into what the notes are about it, or I smell something, I'm like, what is that? And then it shows up that it has raspberry, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know. Their raspberry oils are good for me. Good, they're good to me. Spiced berries from the Bring Back My Bar. Spiced berries, frankincense, and myrrh. Love it. Can't wait to smell that again next Christmas, like into New Year's and even in the beginning of January. Another Bring Back My Bar, Mediterranean Spa. I wasn't crazy about this one. I had smelled this prior, like in years prior. And again, the scents that lean cologne-y to my nose, I don't, you know, I don't run into their arms or anything like that. I was just kind of like, you're fine. You do your job and make the house or the room smell what you need to make it smell like. But then once I'm done with that, it's going in the garbage, and I will probably not purchase another one. So most of the cologne scents that I like are not strong cologne. They're like leaning that direction, but there's something else about them that just makes them more fresh than cologne. So anyway, fried ice cream, another one from the Bring Back My Bar. Oh, I loved this one, but my husband had said something about it smelling like a rubber fish. No, rubber worms, like the kind you fish with. And after he said that, I was like, yeah, I can smell that. And then it was ruined for me. So now I can't warm it anymore because that's what I smell. I hope I didn't ruin it for anybody else, but it was good. But the color was really weird. It wasn't like, I mean, it's sort of a pretty color, but it was sort of weird for wax. It was just like, that's interesting. Okay, snowberry. Oh, see, I have a bar of this. I must have bought some bars, or maybe I did some swaps with people to get bars. I don't know, but anytime I can get my hand on a snowberry, I'm happy. I'm a happy, happy girl. So snowberry, loganberry, strawberry, freshness, a little bit of mintiness. So lovely in the winter. Hazelnut latte, another one from the Bring Back My Bar. I still have this in the club. Yeah, it might come out at some point, but it's just lots of milky, frothy hazelnut with just a little pinch of coffee. But it's nice. It's not a long laster, but I like it while it's going. Oh, the North Calls. I really thought I liked this on cold sniff. And then I really thought I liked it when I was warming it. And then when I went to warm it a second time, there was something that I didn't like anymore about it. It has grapefruit in it, which I appreciate because I love grapefruit incense. I'm not crazy about Scentsy's grapefruit. I think there's been other wax bars I've purchased from other companies other than Scentsy, which gasp, I know. Like I really only typically warm Scentsy because over the years I have found that that's just the best wax as far as like it comes out of the warmers nice and clean. It's not messy, it's not sticky, it's not too hard, it's not too soft. But I needed grapefruit, so I think I picked up like some kind of a soy vendor wax that was grapefruit scented, and it did smell lovely, but the wax was just so bad that I was like, I can't do it. So anytime I see grapefruit in a scent for Scentsy, I'm like, oh, please be good. And this one was fine, but there was it wasn't the grapefruit that bothered me. It was the other things in it that I didn't end up liking. And I can't remember everything that's in there, but there's a floral, I believe, maybe Lily of the Valley. And I think maybe that was what I didn't like about it. So I won't repurchase it. Rum Raisin Cookie. Yes. This is the one that smells like a Mexican hot chocolate to me. And I love it. It's in my club. It's so good. It's so good and edible. I don't eat it, but it smells like you could eat it. Fairy Tale Pumpkin. Oh man, I went back and forth about whether to keep this in my club or not, and I finally decided just to take it out because I have a little stack of them. This one, I liked it at first, and everybody was like, ew, what is that? And it was so polarizing, and most people didn't like it, but I was like, it's not bad to me. And I think I mixed it with spiced pumpkin one day, or not spiced, is it called spiced pumpkin? Anyway, Scentsy's pumpkin, the one that pumpkin roll. I mixed it with pumpkin roll one day. I was like, oh, this is kind of fun. And, you know, I was enjoying it. And then I went to warm it again, maybe, you know, just a little while later, maybe weeks or month later, something, and all I could smell was blueberry gum, like the kind I chewed as a kid. That's all, and that's still all I can smell. It was like blueberry bubblicious mixed with a Tootsie Roll. That's like, if you put both of those in your mouth, the smell that comes out of your mouth would be Fairy Tale Pumpkin. So I couldn't, after that, that's all I associated it with. So I couldn't do it. I took it on my club. I'll probably melt the rest around like Halloween time just because they do smell like candy to me. But yeah, it didn't survive the club. Peppermint Rush. This one's mainly spearmint to my nose. I know it doesn't have just spearmint, but all my nose is picking up is spearmint. Maybe a little bit of peppermint, maybe a little bit of vanilla, but like primarily spearmint. And so I melted it. I mixed it with maybe vanilla bean buttercream or sugar cookie, and it was fine. It was nice, but I didn't keep it in my club. I like mint scents, but I like others more that Scentsy offers than the Peppermint Rush. So Woodland Suede, another one from the Bring Back My Bar. Yeah, I did enjoy this one. It's very pretty. There's nothing wrong with it. It didn't smell at all like I thought it was going to, though. So I don't know if I never had smelled this one before. I don't think I had. Somehow I missed it, or maybe I just had forgotten about it. But I warmed it. I enjoyed it, but I didn't keep it in my club. I think I have one bar left, maybe. Something about it I just didn't like love it enough to keep it in my club. So I had to make cuts somewhere, and that one was one that got the cut. But I did warm that one like around Valentine's Day, I think. Same with French Kiss, and this is an old bar that's all wrinkly and discolored, but I'd been hanging on to it for a look at that. Nasty. And it's one of the old packaging. But I love French Kiss. It's like Bath & Body Works brown sugar and fig. So good. So pretty. Pink Haze. Also around Valentine's Day. I think I have one bar of each of these. We've got the two sisters, Pink Haze and Sugar. Oh, we're all pink today. And I think I have one of each of these left, full bars, and then I'm done. Then I'm like, that's it. That's all I've got because I don't have them in my club. So Pink Haze is so pretty. It's like berries and marshmallow fondant maybe, and the vanilla. I'm sure there's vanilla. It's just pretty. It's kind of like a perfumey cotton candy. And then this one, Sugar, is like also cotton candy-ish, but I really just get Aquilina's Pink Sugar. I have that perfume and I like it. So whenever I smell this, I'm like, yeah, that's a dupe for it. So you got like the black licorice in there. And did you know that? There's black licorice in Aquilina's Pink Sugar. So if Sugar is a true dupe, there's black licorice in that too. And I quite like it. But I like black licorice. Okay. Crumb Top, another one from the Bring Back My Bar. I hemmed and hawed about keeping this in my club, but I took it out, and I think I have another bar or two left of it. But I guess for me, because I'm only a bakery liker and not lover, I don't really need to add Crumb Top 2 scents to make them more bakery. If you are a bakery lover and you find you get a scent and you're like, I just want it to be more bakery, then you would add Crumb Top or something else that they have that's like it. But for me, I don't do that usually, so I didn't really need it. But I did enjoy it on its own. It was pretty. It's like buttery, crumbly streusel topping. It's so good. But yeah, I didn't keep it in my club, but I'll enjoy the last bars that I have. Oh, Autumn Stroll from Bring Back My Bar. This was such a cute label. It's got little scarves and leaves. Yeah, that's a cute label. Yeah, I liked this one. It's good. Towards the end of the melt, it gets a little cologne-y. So I think for that reason, I'll probably warm this in my boys' rooms in the fall. But yeah, this is lovely. I haven't even talked about how, like, I do warm some of these in my daughter's bedroom as well. Like I'll put things like Pink Haze and Sugar in her room because I know she likes those kinds of cotton candy, sweet, fruity smells. So yeah, anyway, here's another one I warmed in my daughter's room. Pear Blossom and Cucumber from the Bring Back My Bar. Did not keep it in my club. I think I put it in for a hot second, and then I was like, it's just not a good enough performer. And if I'm only gonna melt it in her room, because her room is the tiniest bedroom in the house, then I don't ever put more than one cube, because she just has a little mini warmer in her room on a stand, like not plugged into the wall, but on top of her dresser. And so I'll only ever use one cube at a time in her room. So if I have another bar of Pear Blossom and Cucumber, it'll take me a while to go through that bar. But this was an awesome scent. It was just really light. but it's a dupe for Dolce & Gabbana's light blue. So yeah, I think it's a dead ringer. That's all I smell when I smell it. More so after it warms for a bit, honestly, than at the start. Because the cucumber fades off, and then you're left with just that perfumey Dolce & Gabbana light blue scent. All right, Snow White Kind Heart. I had to slow down. I'm trying to go fast because I feel like the video is going to be super long. Yeah, this was nice. On cold, it's kind of weird, not gonna lie, but when it's warming, it's lovely. I really liked it. It's floral. It's got some sweetness to it. I love the periwinkle wax. You can't see it, but it's like the color of that little Scentsy logo. That's the color of the wax, and I quite liked Kind Heart. I'm gonna keep it in my club for now. Sticky Cinnamon Bun, another one from the Bring Back My Bar. This one has no bun, just sticky cinnamon. That's it, and I loved it. But I like cinnamon scents in my kitchen, so that was a fun one that I kept in my club for kitchen warming for fall and winter and into the, January time. I don't think that I will warm Sticky Cinnamon Bun anymore now that it's warming up outside. So like February was the last month that I would have warmed that. Okay, moving on. We're almost done. Cucumber Lime from the Bring Back My Bar. I just warmed a bar of this in my kitchen the other day and it was so good. It is just cucumber lime, but there is, I will say, now that I'm warming it more, because this is the season when I'll start doing that, there's like just a touch of a soapy component to this bar that kind of makes it like clean smelling. Even though it's foodie smelling, there's just like this little touch of cleanness to it. I don't know if anybody else is getting that, but that's what my nose is picking up. But I love it. It's a strong performer, lasts days. Awesome bar. And the last tier is Cranberry Muffin. I love this one. Oh, look at that. And it's got cute packaging on it too. Or a cute label, I should say. Little batter or spatulas and little whisks and the muffins. And yeah, this is lovely. It's just cranberry and like a batter. And I get more cranberry than anything else, like a sweet cranberry that's just lovely in the kitchen. Don't get it. It's not a super heavy bakery scent to my nose, and I may even still warm it like this spring. I don't know if summertime is, I think you probably could warm this any time of year, to be honest. There's no spice in this to me, but there is a bit of a warmth to it. So I feel like it would be best to kind of stop, for me, my preference is to stop like before the weather gets too hot. But yeah, that's an awesome bar. And guys, that's it. That's everything from my last bag of empties. Now I'm saving the ones that I started melting for the start of spring. And I'll try to get that video up here soon as well so that I can kind of keep on top of my empties and sharing them with you so the videos aren't massive and long. So thanks for spending time with me today, and I hope you're all having a great one. We'll see you in my next video. Bye.